Good morning and aloha from Oahu. Today is day 30 of 30 days sober in the streets of Oahu, and we did it. We made it through 30 days, and today is actually the fourth day that I've been sober from everything. So I'm just super grateful for this journey. The sun is actually coming up here in Oahu and I. If you guys didn't know, the sun already is up, but it doesn't come over those mountains until like 6:39. It's 6:39 right now, exactly 6:39. So those are my spiritual numbers. If you guys didn't know, I'm not religious, I'm spiritual. But yesterday I was in the gym and I was talking to this girl named Heidi in the sauna, and I asked her about her zodiac sign. And I asked her if she believed in zodiac signs, and she's like, I'm not really familiar with it because I'm Christian, but I was like, do you believe that your zodiac sign to be true? And she's like, yeah, I do. And I was like, well, can I guess your zodiac sign? And she's like, okay. And I was like, I'm getting Libra. And she's like, oh my gosh, how did you know? I was like, for real? Like right off the bat? She's like, yes. I was like, damn. Well, okay. Because I've been practicing spirituality and I'm kind of an empath, I'm actually really good at kind of picking up energy. So the fact that I just said it right off the bat kind of shows you how good I am with reading energy, right? She's like, yes, that was crazy. And then she's like, can I guess yours? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, I'm getting like, she said Gemini, Leo, or Aries. And I was like, whoa. The fact that she said those three lets me know that you're kind of actually in tune with zodiac signs, because I'm actually a Leo. So you got me on the second guess. And she's like, what? I can see that now. I can see that. And she's like, and you look like a Leo, for real. And I was like, I guess that's a good thing. But I love conversations in the sauna, for one, because they help pass time hella quick. And two, I have some of the most profound conversations, some of the most deepest conversations in sauna. And I think it's just because when the environment. But I wanted to share this about my experience in this 30 days. I just wanted to share a benefit about what's helped me through this last 4 days of being sober. So technically this will be the 5th day, but so 5 days sober of everything. And that's kind of what I wanted to do with this 30 days. Is I know in this 30 days was like a roller coaster of experiences when it comes to my vices and finding ways to cope. But it's not gonna be perfect. And I think through the experiences that I had from each day, and just being real with y'all and being transparent about my struggles, kind of gives you guys motivation, or I hope it gives someone motivation that it's not gonna look perfect, and you're not gonna be cold turkey, and you're gonna have a lot of bumps in the road. And so just keep pushing through, because it'll make sense at the end of the day. And if you keep pushing, keep keeping yourself accountable, eventually you'll get to where you want to. And so that's just my experience and my testimony. And the sauna and the steam room has definitely helped me. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys today. Cigarettes and weed, I have never gone this far this long without being high off of weed. And I have to attribute it to my workouts, because there's only a certain few things that can help fill my brain with that void. And if you sat in the steam room and you sat in the sauna long enough, just me speaking from my experience, when I sit in the steam room, when I sit in the sauna, especially the steam room, because of the smoke, it gives me this feeling in my head that it gives me this irritating feeling, and I get super frustrated in myself that I have this fight against my own self to want to sober up. And it just made me super pissed off that I got to this point where I'm in a steam room and my breathing, I know it's affected because of my vaping, smoking. And so that's why the steam room and the sauna helps me so much when it comes to stop quitting like smoking anything, because of how much it reminds me of the number one thing that's important to all of us, which is breath. It's the number one most important thing is breath, right? Because without it, we lose consciousness. So that's why when I go into a steam room in a sauna, I am filled with these thoughts of like negative thoughts towards myself that feel like this inner fire to want to quit even more, because it's like, it makes me so that's just me speaking, right? I don't know what's going to take for you, but if you are struggling with smoking, cigarettes, vaping, and weed, put your ass in a steam room, put your ass in a sauna, and just sit there and time yourself. Time yourself, because every time you sit in there and you sit a little bit longer, you give this confidence in yourself that you push past this threshold to make you feel super confident and that you are in control of your destiny. And that, you know, just every time you sit in the sauna, you know, do it at your own discretion. But when you feel like you're gonna hit that point of like, all right, I need to get the fuck out, leave. Then the next time, go in and stay for at least 30 seconds to a minute more, just so you can be proud that you've accomplished sitting in there longer than you had before. And yeah, that's just like one of the best ways to share with y'all that I've been able to quit. And it took 30 days, but hey, some of y'all could be less than that. It's just, for me, I have to say no to people all the time. And so your environment does shape, play a lot into how much you're tempted in certain things, right? And so one of the best environments you could put yourself into to help offset that is a gym. I've been homeless in Oahu since March 26th of this year. That's when they took my daughter from me. And but I've been only in Oahu and I since May, June. So like about 3 to 4 months being homeless out here. And this is not my first time being homeless. I've been homeless in Long Beach. And the benefit that I got of surviving here in Oahu and I is things that I did out there in Cali. And the one thing that helped me out through my homelessness was a gym membership, especially at like 24-hour fitness. So because it's 24 hours, that's the benefit of having that gym membership, because I used to sleep at the parking lots of 24-hour fitness all the time. And so you have access to a bathroom, you have access to a shower, and then you get access to getting a workout. And what's more beneficial than putting yourself in something physical to help you mentally? I know that's the benefit of working out. Now, I got my associate's degree in physical health, and then I got my bachelor's in sociology with a focus in criminal justice. So there's two things about those 2 degrees that's constantly puts me in the cycle of going into the gym. One, obviously physical health. I know that working out is actually a need. So I should just, protection of all things, right? Number 5, workouts is part of that, okay? So, but that's not being specific. So I guess there's 6 needs, human needs, because during this process, I've only expressed that there's only 5 human needs, and protection of all things was the 5th one, with breath, sleep, food and water, procreation, and then protection of all things. But I do believe that exercise has to be in there, because there's only certain things that we can take on mentally before we have to find something physically or to help with the trauma response. So whether it be like, or coping. And so I truly believe when you work out, it's it's the most healthiest way to cope. And then also there's this barrier in your brain that like you don't feel like you could push past it mentally. But when you do things physically, you give yourself confidence reaching certain points in your workouts. And I feel like if you're struggling in anything that affects you in this life, it's usually gonna be your physical body, all right? Whether it's eating, whether it's smoking, drinking, it all affects the physical body. And so that's why my answer to those who are looking for ways to change their situation, change their coping mechanisms, change their thought process, is just putting yourself in the gym. You don't even have to work out in the gym. You could just go there and sit in the sauna the whole time, go in the pool, swim around in the pool, or just sit and watch people, because you'll start to I always tell people, like, hey, if you ever having struggles with yourself, just get yourself a membership and go sit in the gym. You don't have to do anything. Just sit in the gym, and then you'll start to figure out every day you go sit in that gym, you'll want to start to do something. And when you do something, how is that not going to benefit you mentally? Because physically, when you put yourself through something, physically, you find escape mentally. Because this is one thing that I've learned out here, because grounding is for sure a thing. But if you're ever struggling and you're ever stressing out, or you just can't get over some of the thoughts that you're going through, or the things that you're going through mentally, take your shoes off and go walk, just start walking in nature. Walk on a sidewalk, because eventually you're going to stop thinking about what you're thinking about that's stressing you out, and you're going to be worried about what you're going to be stepping on, and you're going to be feeling what your feet are stepping on, and you're going to be worried about the rocks, any glass, any sharp objects, and you're just going to be more in tune with yourself in that moment. And that's what has helped me in a lot of the situations out here, is walking barefoot, but also putting myself in something physical to help escape the thoughts that I have in my head about me being in a situation with my daughter. And also, I haven't started meditating yet, but when I was in the sauna back in California, I used to meditate a lot in the sauna. So I think that's another thing that I'm gonna get more in tune with, is meditating and getting more open about meditating in the sauna. I need to find a meditation that doesn't revolve around Isha Kriya too much, because I feel like that's another religion. And although it helps me out, open my mind, there's a portion in it where there's a singing part, and I just don't feel like I resonate with the words. So I gotta find something that's been more in tune with my spirituality when it comes to meditation. But that's the only reason why I haven't started meditating, is because I want to find something more in tune with me. And I think I gotta start recording it and putting it on YouTube. That way I can just listen to my own meditation. But yeah, that's just a key benefit of this whole 30-day process, is that I renewed my yearly subscription for 24-hour fitness, and I live in Oahu and I, y'all, and the closest 24-hour fitness is in Kapolei, which is 40 minutes. And I actually, just so I can have that peace of mind, so I take that bus ride at least 4 to 5 times a week, just so I can get my escape. And they say you gotta fight for your sobriety as much as you fight for your drug. And I mean, if that's not speaking volumes, I don't know what it is. Because who does that? Take a bus ride to the gym at least 4 to 5 times a week, just so I can have that peace of mind and put my body through something physical. And steam room sauna is always a benefit. So yeah. And here's another tip for y'all who are going to work out, because I want you guys to get the most out of your gym. If you guys, especially when it comes to losing weight, all right. And you guys, I'm gonna be honest, all right. I know what I'm talking about, because I've done the research. I've done the work, all right? And I'm speaking from experience, all right? If you ever want to lose weight fast, don't do cardio. I never do cardio, okay? The only way I do cardio is if I implement like a superset, or I'm trying to time myself when it comes to my lifting. But the reason why you don't want to do cardio is because if you look at these marathon runners, look at their bodies. And I'm going to be honest with y'all, not no judgment to marathon runners, but it's just the science behind it, all right? When you put yourself through a marathon or like a long distance running, what you're doing is you're constantly heating up the inside of your body. So the tension that your body is constantly going through with that motion is constantly, you're cooking it inside. And so when you're building muscle, you're breaking down the muscle fibers, you're building it stronger. So you're breaking down the muscle to make it stronger. And so instead, when you're marathon running, you're breaking down the muscle, and it's not making it stronger, it's building stamina. So you are going to have stronger lungs, but you could do that with a sprint. And I would do intermittent sprints, or like HIIT workouts, which is high intensity workouts, because in reality, what are you going to be training for in survival mode, right? Putting yourself in a position to fight or flight, right? And so if you're gonna be in an emergency, or you're gonna be in a fight or flight mode, you're gonna get into a car, you're gonna get someone faster to get you there, right? The only time it'd be like a fight or flight type of situation is if you put yourself in a position to do sprints, because just in case you needed to sprint from A to B. I'll just put it this way: if I put muscle building like this compared to marathon running, if I was to put 10 pounds of muscle on your body right now, and not just in your arms like Popeye, but I disperse it all throughout your body, that 10 pounds of muscle, at rest, your body would burn 3,500 calories at rest a week with just that 10 pounds of muscle. Do you know what the equivalence is to burning 3,500 calories doing marathon runs? 35 miles a week. You'd have to run 35 miles a week, or just gain that 10 pounds of muscle and then let your body burn that 3,500 calories a week. At rest, you can burn those calories. So which would you rather do? Would you rather get the 10 pounds of muscle, or would you rather run 35 miles? You would rather get the 10 pounds of muscle. So that's why I say, if you don't know how to muscle build and you're worried about your form, there's machines, guys. It's very hard for you to hurt yourself with machines. And then at the same time, like time under tension, range of motion, so you can even go like shorter ranges of motion. It depends on what you're trying to accomplish with your body. All right, so time under tension, range of motion, and then switching up the exercise. Like, even for instance, I'm doing a bicep curl, right? Well, just changing the hand is a different bicep curl. Now you're activating your forearms into this. So there's always a primary muscle you're working out, which is the bicep, but then when there's a secondary muscle that's also working out. So even when you're going out here, the shoulder, holding your shoulder in a certain position, now you're doing a shoulder and a bicep workout, right? Same thing with bench press. You can have your form out here, where you're hitting the bench right here, and you're getting this part of your chest, or you can go close grip, and then you're hitting your chest through here, but you're also getting your tricep workout in. All right, so those are primary and secondary muscles that you're helping the more muscles you have in one workout, the more your muscles are going to build, and you're going to break down, and you're going to build. So yeah, these are just some key factors in helping burn calories and helping you see results faster. Steady focus on muscle building. And if you have to, go low with the weights, go short with the weights, go small with the weights, change up the range of motion, time under tension. If you're going like, if you're worried about people judging you about your weight, go slow, and then you'll see how other people around you are going fast with heavier weight. But over time, that's gonna cause a lot of injuries. Yeah, just know your body, guys. And so yeah, I hope those are some tips into understanding why I always praise the gym, because you got to get in there and put your body through something physical. That way it helps you not be too much in your mental. All right, so yeah, there is one key factor that I could say helped me in this whole 30-day process. It is the gym. And so I will start getting into my gym workouts as well with these videos, and just show you guys like my experiences of what it takes for me to be homeless out here in Oahu, but also put myself in a position to overcome a lot of the vices and things that plague my Kanaka people out here, which is being priced out of paradise, the drugs, and so like learning how to navigate your food intake, because food comes to everybody in different ways, but I know what foods are beneficial to helping you cope with even drugs, because like the worst drug that they have, or the worst coping mechanism that people have, the worst vice, is food, especially sugar. That's something I still struggle with, but I say it's the one thing that I know I can quit over time, because I've went vegan, I went vegetarian before, and I quit sugar before. So, but that was an extreme time in my life, and that's actually around the same time I had my spiritual awakening. So it just goes to show, when you start to get rid of all the toxins that the human body experiences through this reality and this social programming and this colonization programming with Christianity and all that, once you get rid of all those things that affect the body, the mind, and the spirit, then you'll start to see how you can align with source in the way that you were always made to. And I truly believe that when it comes to being Polynesian, not even Polynesian, when it comes to my Pacifica people, I feel like the best thing for us is to do things for us that we know over the centuries and millennia of our people being here, is that we've had our own connection to source and our own ways of surviving. And I think the more that we are in line with that, there's certain parts of our DNA that will activate, and we will become more in tune with what we were always meant to be, which is chosen ones. Yes, I say that because we're all chosen ones. All of us who were born in this time frame and are going through these experiences, and that's really what keeps me grounded and lets me know that I got to keep going, is because I have such an awareness to how society affects us that I just need to get my energy out there, and get my thoughts out there, so that way it can help somebody understand themselves more, especially any one of my Pacifica people. I love y'all, I appreciate y'all, and thank y'all for being part of this journey, y'all. Yeah, just thank you guys. I really appreciate everybody who's shared their comments, likes, and subscriptions, especially that, because I know where I want to take this is to hopefully magnify the message that, you know, you can do it. You can do it. So with that being said, I love you guys. I appreciate y'all. Aloha from Oahu, and mahalo again, y'all. Thank you.